Great. So welcome everyone. I'm Hannah from the Bangor Public Library, and we're so happy to have another installment in our series in partnership with SCORE. Today we're going to be hearing from the Better Business Bureau. Danielle Bass is joining us from their Northern New England office, or I guess they're just their New England office.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to hear a little bit about, Better Business Bureau 101, the services that they can offer for small businesses and business owners. Donna, did you want to say anything else before we get going?
Yeah, I guess specifically for Heather really is since the other two people are from SCORE, so generally know about it. My name is Donna Cassesi, and I'm the chapter chair for the Northern Maine chapter of SCORE. And what we do is we offer free mentoring to anyone who needs help either thinking about a business idea, starting a business, or even kind of revamping their current business. We give workshops such as today, which you're doing jointly with the Bangor. And if you do have any interest in a mentor like Pete or Carrie or myself, all you do is go on to score.org and say what kind of help you'd like. And then we do client matching where we'll match you to the best mentor for your topic. So thank you.
Yeah. So Danielle, if you want to take it away, let's get the show on the road.
Thank you so much. As they said, my name is Danielle. I am with the Better Business Bureau. Our office is based in Marlborough, Mass, actually, but we cover all of Eastern Mass, Maine, Vermont, and Rhode Island. So most of New England we cover. BBBs are across the nation, Mexico and Canada as well. We all have offices locally in each community. Ours just happens to be most of New England. So we're fortunate enough to have those 4 states. We have been around as a nonprofit we're going on 110 years next year. So quite some time, which is really exciting. A little bit of background on me and why I can sit here and tell you about BBB. I have been with them for over 2 years now. I originally started on their community relations team doing our outreach events in our communities, whether it be an expo, farmers market, chamber event throughout our 4 states. And now we have 3 other people in our states, as well as me here in Eastern Mass. And I go around each day and I probably deliver about 30 presentations just like this free to the community a month through our Speakers Bureau. I speak on BBB 101, ethics in high schools and middle schools, scams and fraud, identity theft, different things like that. Just getting that information out there. It's the best way that we can stay up to date on what's happening and what the resources are. I will get started with the presentation. Can everybody see it okay? Perfect. So a little bit background on BBB. Like I said, we've been around for 109 years, going on 110, which is quite some time. We are a nonprofit. Some people confuse us with a government agency. We do work closely with government agencies and federal agencies, specifically Office of Consumer Affairs, Attorney General's Office, different places like that. We have very close partnerships with. I usually speak actually in Massachusetts with our Office of Consumer Affairs partner, and that's always a blast to have her around because she can share some information on her resources. We were built on the basis of truth in advertising, which basically means at one point 109 years ago, somebody decided, you know what, when a business puts out advertisements, whether it be a radio, a print ad, whatnot, it should be truthful. They shouldn't be able to put out an advertisement that says, I'm selling this incredible pill, $10, you buy it, you're going to grow 6 inches overnight. I promise, I pinky promise, cross my heart, hope to die, you're going to grow 6 inches overnight if you take my pill. We decided that was very much false advertising, and there should be somebody in place, some type of entity in place to hopefully stop it. And that's kind of where we came into play. We try to make sure businesses are doing business ethically and correctly. So people can complain to us. That's how most people know BBB as a place you can complain to. A lot of people have heard parents or grandparents threaten, I'm going to call the BBB on you. And you can absolutely do that. We're more than happy to take your complaints. But with the advance in marketplace, we have advanced as well with our resources. So I'll talk about it a little more later on how we hopefully have the resources so you can avoid filing a complaint against a business. As I mentioned, our mission is to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust. This just means we continue to create new free resources. We continue to evolve with the marketplace as we're more online. We've created more online resources, different things like that. As more scams pop up, we do more scam presentations. We installed a new scam tracker. It is a place you can report scams to. Again, I will get into all of our resources in just a bit. So a little bit more about what we do. We serve as a consumer resource is the main thing we do, but we're also a business resource. To hit on some of the consumer resources we have before I get into more of the business resources. Consumer resources entail our scam tracker, which is an excellent resource. It is a place where you can see what scams are happening nearby and report scams. As a business, as a consumer, whatever it may be, if you have been scammed, there's a solicitor, you keep getting calls, something like that, or you think you've fallen victim to a scam, you can go to bbb.org or call our number. You'll talk to a real live person in Eastern Mass, business hours, Monday through Friday. I will add that information in the chat at the end as well. And you can report that scam. You can also see what scams are happening near you. You can put in Bangor, Maine. You can put in Boston, Massachusetts. You can put in any type of zip code across the country, Mexico and Canada, and see what scams are happening, because scammers, they're very smart, and they're only getting smarter. So the only way to avoid being scammed is to really stay educated on what scams are out there. Are they hitting businesses? What type of data breaches are happening? Different things like that. Are they impersonating businesses? What's going around? Because they're always changing and it's always new tactics. So as a business owner and a consumer, it is really important to kind of know what's out there in case someone's trying to be fraudulent using your name or your Google My Business account or your social media or something like that. Just being aware of what's happening is a great way to hopefully avoid it. I mentioned we do our Free Speakers Bureau, which is just this. That's another resource. We have our business profiles, and that's both for businesses and consumers. We have over 6 million business profiles nationwide, which is quite a few. Those are totally free to businesses to create. You can just go to bbb.org, and on the front page it says create a business profile. You can create a business profile right there. It's just another way for people to find you if they were to search, whatever type of business you're in. If it's restaurant in Bangor, you would pop up. Or if they typed in, Susie's Restaurant in Bangor, Maine, you would pop up as well. It helps with SEO. It's just another way for people to find you. You can put images, website, business details, contact information. You will get a rating with us once you've been in business for a year, and then you can have reviews and complaints up there as well. Hopefully you won't have complaints. But it is a great resource. If someone is kind of checking you out, you can have them look at BBB, so have an A+ with BBB. The nice thing about our rating is they're very unbiased compared to other entities. We do not include reviews. We have them on the page, but we don't include them in the rating process because reviews can be incredibly biased. I could post a review and say, Susie's Restaurant was great, but their walls were painted red and I really prefer blue walls. But the service was great, so 0 stars. It's not a fair reflection on the business, and we find that reviews typically can tend to be that way. So we base our reviews off of years in business. Are they updated on their licensing if their business requires it? Are they in good government and federal standing? Different things like that, which create more of a honest reflection of the business's rating than it would be just reviews, because like I said, those can be incredibly biased. Business profiles, they're excellent. If you want to take it a step further, there is always membership. That is the only paid resource, pay-for resource we have here at BBB. That's how we make our living as a nonprofit. If people want to be members with us, it comes with a whole host. I believe we're up to at least 50 member benefits at this point. You have to submit an application and be approved to be a member with us. You cannot pay to play. You have to be in business for at least a year. Again, good government, federal standing. And you have to go through that application process. Make sure you meet our 8 standards of trust. before you can be approved to become a member with us. Membership is pretty low monthly fee. It starts around $40 or $50 a month, depending on how many people you have full-time at your business. It changes depending on how many full-time employees you have, what the cost is. So for somebody with only one full-time employee, it's a lot lower than a large company with 100 plus full-time employees, which is kind of how we keep it manageable for our small businesses. We don't want to push them out. We want to include them, absolutely. Let's see, it's so much information that I always hit on. Where am I missing? My brain just went blank and I lost my train of thought. But with memberships, we have incredible benefits. We will do your website. We will do your logo. We will do your print material, your yard signs, business cards. I'm so sorry, my brain just went blank. Business cards, yard signs, different things like that, handouts such as those. And that's all with your membership. We have business consultants on hand if you want to chat about marketing, about your business plan, different things like that. So it's incredible member benefits, but our free resources are just as helpful. We have our small business startup help, and that is on our website right on bbb.org, specifically for the Boston BBB is what we call it. And you can get info and tips on marketing, licensing, HR, customer service, different things like that. It's kind of like we've taken all the local resources and compiled them into just one landing page so that whatever you're specifically looking for, you can click into and get some resources on, you know, the use of Google G Suites, different things like that to kind of get you started. And of course, we always recommend, you know, SCORE and different things like that for businesses that are looking for some more help to get their business off the ground. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know it's a lot of information to fly through. Yeah.
It's mostly Massachusetts based as far as technical support regarding any startup businesses or, you know, what's going on in Massachusetts based consulting for that business startup resource benefit.
Sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
It is not. We have consultants across the states. Most of our people are based here, but we now have people throughout the states. But if you notice something that you wanted specifically state to Maine to talk about, you know, different regulations specific to your state, we could absolutely reach out and try to find. If we had an influx of people asking for more consultants statewide, we could reach out and connect about those.
So are you the main go-to person for Maine?
I am not. I do all of our speakers bureaus, so I do all these presentations. Our Maine community relations specialist does all of our events, and she's out in the community. Her name is Lisa, and she is throughout Maine. I'm more than happy to give you her information to connect with. She's at about 5 Maine events a week, so
Okay.
she's out there.
Yeah, and if you get that to me, Danielle, I can get it in the follow-up email to everybody who was registered today too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Carrie, just so you know, I did a talk with the Waterville, Maine Chamber last week, and Lisa attended that. So I got to meet her, and so she's definitely, once we get her email, that would be great. I'd say that would be like a good first shot for questions and support.
Okay. Great.
Absolutely. And I see a question on BBB doing member website. So if you become a member, we have our whole team of, I don't even know what we call them, but I call them the computer team, and they go in and they will create a website for you. You get on the list as soon as you become a member. It's a pretty quick turnaround. I'm not sure what they're running right now. I would say probably a couple weeks at this point. but they create your website. If you need a logo, they will design your logo and work with you to create the website you're interested in. If it's a restaurant, they'll create the menu, all that kind of stuff, and get it listed on a website. That website, if you choose to leave as a member and terminate your membership, that website will not be able to go with you. It only works if you are a member. But if you decide to stay a member and go with a different website company, say you've grown and you need a more elaborate website, and what we're doing, you're just going with a different company, you can keep your membership and use a different website company. You don't have to have your website made by us.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, Danielle. I know you talked a lot about different things that are available on the BBB website. Maybe, you know, either now if it feels like a good time, or at the end of the presentation, if you'd be comfortable sharing your screen and just kind of showing folks how to navigate to some of those pages. I think that could be really helpful too, because it sounds like there's a ton of stuff on there.
Absolutely. Let me bring it over for you. Can everybody see the screen now?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, I'll start from the beginning where everybody would see if they were to log on. So this is the home page, right? When you head on to bbb.org, you can go down, you can see your services for businesses are Get Accredited, Business Resource, and List Your Business for Free. If you do not have a business profile with us, this is where you'll head to create that business profile. And it's to add a business to the BBB directory. A consumer can do this. If I was trying to search for Joe's Landscaping and he wasn't popping up and I was interested in having BBB find some information on him, I could put in I'm a customer and fill out Joe's Landscaping and say it's in Maine, and we on our customer care end, our team will go through and compile some information on them so that we have a business profile for them if we're missing them. Or if you are a business owner and you do not have a business profile with us, it never got created, or you're newer, you can go through, submit your information, and then you submit it to us. We double check that you are a legitimate business, a legitimate person. You're not just some computer typing in things for us. You're not a robot. And then we will go and make that live. You will get an email and you'll be able to add photos, add your website, update contact information, business hours. You can add a whole host of details about your business. I can show you a business profile, for example. Let's see, we'll look at general contractors. So this is what pops up. Sorry, that went by really fast. If I'm looking for a business or your business, it's right here. You type in what you would like. It can be a specific business type, or it can be an exact business name like Joe's Landscaping exactly, and then you can put where you would like it near. I have general contractor near Marlborough, Massachusetts. This pop-up comes up and you can do BBB accredited businesses only, which means they are members with us, or you can just do all businesses. Then you will get a whole host of businesses that match your search of general contractor near Marlborough, Mass, or it could be restaurant, food service, whatever it may be, boutiques, thrift stores, anything like that. And then you can find information on them.
Danielle, do you have any idea of what the traffic is like on this website in terms of how many hits a day, or, you know, how often is this used?
Off the top of my head, I do not have that information. I'm more than happy to include it in my follow-up email, and that way you can share it as well.
That'd be great. I'm just trying to get a sense if someone was going to take the time to be on your website, you know, can they expect additional traffic or additional coverage? I'm just trying to get some kind of sense of that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And just, I know you may have just said this a few minutes ago, but if all businesses, if you look for all businesses, did they, all the ones that are on your website, meet the threshold, ethics and, you know, longevity in business and being in good standing? But
no, so We have F-rated ones on here, so if it's not
Oh.
just our A+ ones, this is just the ones that come up on top, but ones that have many unanswered complaints or a federal issue against them, government issue against, warning, whatever it may be, if they have a scam warning against them, fraud warning, those will come up too. So if you ended up searching for a business and it was Joe's Landscaping was a fraudulent F-rated company, they were fine, and then in the past year they've stopped answering complaints, that will show on their page, so that if you're looking for them and you're going between these two businesses per se, Joe's Landscaping and Smith's Landscaping, you can see Smith's Landscaping's an A+, he's been in business for this many years, and Joe's actually now rated an F, he has all these unanswered complaints, you know, X, Y, and Z. So you get the full picture. You can see the complaints, you can read how they were resolved, how quickly they were resolved, and if they were even answered at all.
So all you really need to be on the list is confirm that you're an actual business, and then you would use the
Correct.
rating that comes up to kind of try to, you know, if you were looking through the list to try to
Yes.
figure out who might be better quality.
Yes, and accredited businesses do have to meet all the standards of basically, you know, the 8 standards of trust, in business for a year, license, insured, all that kind of thing. They have to answer complaints within 30 days. So they are held to a higher standard because they get to use that BBB seal of trust.
Do you know how many Maine businesses are members? Is that easy to see?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can see if I can find that information on my
Okay,
page.
I know I don't want to stop the flow,
Yeah.
but I just wondered. I have to say, I did several years ago want to reach out, and I had the impression, and my sense of time is terrible. I don't know how many years ago. I thought it was not covering Maine at all as an organization. Has Maine been added as a member state, like a region covered in more recent years, or has it been all along?
To my understanding, it has been all along. I don't know if they weren't covered by our office, maybe. I know Vermont at one point was independent and kind of got absorbed into our office of Eastern Mass. So possibly before my time, Maine might have had either their own office or wasn't absorbed by anyone yet, but they have been able to be members for quite some time now. Let's see, I will go back.
And we just had another question in the chat from Pete. He
Yeah.
said, after a business cancels its paid membership, does it still remain listed under business profiles?
Yep, it'll have its business profile. If it's still in good standing, it can still have its A+. They just won't have the accredited business sign on it. I will show you what. So this business has the accredited business sign right here. And if they were to terminate their membership, it would just look like this. It would say not BBB accredited, but it would still have its A+, and all its information would still be up here. Same with this. That's just the difference between the two. This has the opportunity to get a quote and use all the kind of extras that come with being a member. But a business profile, it's pretty straightforward. You have your logo, your information. This business is accredited. It will talk about the overview of why it has that rating. So if a business has a B or an F or an A, you can read about why that business got the rating it did. You can get a quote from that business. If you're looking for a quote on a construction job, something like that, you can do it directly from our website. You can read all their reviews and complaints right here. If they had any, it would pop up right here and you could read all that information. You can get an overview about them and then see some photos and videos. And then read some business details. Here's some business, when they started, who the contact information is. And then if any industry tips come up, we have them right down here if you wanted to read more about best practices for hiring a contractor. Our business resource page is right here. We talk about, this will bring you to the general business resource page. For Eastern Massachusetts, we have our own. If you scroll down a little bit, it usually pops up. I lost it today. Oh, we'll get it a different way. Our business tips, let's see, I haven't done it in a while. Would be under, here we go, My BBB. You go to our specific homepage. You can see our upcoming events, and then you can do your small business startup help. And that will bring you to the resource page directly for our 4 states. Customer service, human resource, marketing, licensing, technology, and BBB. And each one opens into a new page with their list of resources.
And do you have to be a member to access this?
Nope, this
Page
is
or no?
a totally free resource.
Okay.
Yep, for this page right here, this is just our homepage for our specific BBB, and all these resources are totally free to attend any of these speaking bureau, to have BBB at your event. If you're hosting a community event and you would like BBB to attend, we're more than happy to. This is all free. The only thing that is paid is for a member accreditation, and those benefits are the website, the print material, different things like that.
Nice. Great.
Absolutely. I will go back to, does anybody else have questions on the website before I go back to the PowerPoint a little bit?
Thanks for taking the time to show that. I think that was really helpful, Daniel.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great idea. Usually I try to have it up, but I haven't done this presentation in a while, so I'm a little rusty on it. I've been giving so many scam and fraud presentations with the holidays coming up, so that's been forefront on my mind for sure. I will play this little video. I'm not sure if the sound works. Sometimes I have issues with it, so just let me know if you cannot hear it, and I will skip right over it. It's just kind of a cute video about the BBB seal. Oops, might not work then.
So, how's the remodel going? Oh my gosh, where do I start? My contractor is amazing. He's made the whole process so easy on me.
Here, it's so quiet.
Ladies to look for the seal. Ladies, I'm not kidding. I always look for the seal. Oh, I know you do. I do too. Me too. That's true. When we bought our car, we looked for the seal. When we were searching for daycares, we looked for the seal. I won't even buy shoes online unless I see the seal. The BBB makes my life easier because I know I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. That's why I always look for the seal.
Just a simple video that covers, you know, why people look and how people look out for the accredited business seal. We covered that. This is just a little bit more reminders. I always cover it just a little bit about identity theft and protecting yourself as a business, as a consumer. I always like to hit on it. My favorite piece of advice to give that people dislike the most is keeping your passwords updated for all your accounts, business, personal, whatever it may be, updating them every 2 to 3 months and making them something absolutely obscure, whether it be purple sweater 1914 ABC, and different for each one. It seems like it's common sense, but we tend to get really, really lazy with our passwords, and that's a very easy way for things to get hacked, data breaches to happen. As a business owner, we really want to do our best to avoid data breaches and such. So I always recommend that. That's probably, if you take one thing from this page, it would be that.
And if anyone wants help with using a password manager or some of those other like basic online security things, that's something that I help folks with at the library all the time and offer classes about as well. So if you're like, oh, that's me, I should listen to Danielle, but I need someone to kick me in the pants and help me do it. You can set up an appointment with me and I will get you started with a password manager, which will make it really easy to keep those things up to date and secure.
That's awesome. That's a great resource. I always recommend that, either password managers, or if you're going to write it down, I would say just don't label that, journal tab passwords. I would label it dentist bills or something really boring that if a bad apple were to get into your house, they wouldn't go, oh, look, their whole password folder. They would say, dentist bills, I don't care. And they would move along. Does anybody have any questions? I know it's a lot to fly through. We do have a ton of resources, and I will catch up on some of those questions I didn't have the answer to on top of my head in the recap email. But any other questions?
I know you mentioned a few times I think there are 8 standards, right?
Mhm.
Can you go through those just so folks know, like if they do want to get accredited, sort of what they'll be evaluated on?
Absolutely. So our 8 standards are trust, are build trust, advertise honestly, tell the truth, be transparent, honor promises, be responsive, safeguard privacy, and embody integrity. So along with those, the safeguard privacy, that's, doing your best to avoid just giving your customers information out all over, making sure you have those policies and procedures in place so that hopefully a data breach does not happen on your watch, as easy as possible, clicking fraudulent links and such. Telling the truth, being honest, advertising honestly, as I mentioned before, that's what we got started off of. So if you're like a landscaper and you're advertising, I can come in and do your lawn in a half hour, and it's going to be $30. It's going to be great. And then you get there and it's 2 hours and it's $100, and that's not honest advertisement. So we want to make sure that businesses are presenting their companies truthfully, telling the truth. Again, same idea, being transparent with your billing, your practices, everything like that. So your customers are getting the full picture up front. So just those kind of things. And again, they are common sense for most businesses and most people, but just making sure that we're upholding those as businesses and as people.
Oh, sorry. Danielle, what % of businesses that ask to be accredited are not accepted into the Better Business Bureau standards?
I would have to double check. I would have to say it's not that large of a percent, but it definitely, we definitely do decline plenty if they are fraudulent and they're just trying to get the seal to, make their business look better, or if there's been past like past issues, if they're, if they have like a government warning out for them, different things like that. I can get you the exact number. Again, the recap, I don't have that data off the top of my head.
And I imagine you could also work with a business, if a small business applies and you say, well, it doesn't seem like you're doing enough to safeguard privacy. And
Absolutely.
They say, okay, well, can you help me do that better? Then
Yeah.
maybe you can work your way up to accreditation.
Yes, we don't like to say no to people, especially if they're clearly trying. So we definitely take the time to take into consideration, what the resources are and how large they are. But we do want to make sure that, when we put our seal on that business, that we are fully backing them.
Danielle, I'm trying to get really a handle on, at least from a SCORE perspective, we always want to, if we're going to refer a service to our client, we want to make sure we really kind of understand like what the value of it is, right? Yeah. And so I'm having a little bit of a hard time kind of understanding. I understand the website piece, but understanding exactly what I get for my $40 or whatever each month.
Absolutely.
And I do think that if there was an opportunity to, showcase or whatever for people who are in it, what are the top things that they value, of being a member of the Better Business Bureau? What services do they get? And maybe more specifically is, and I'm trying to remember back to the last time I heard one of these presentations, is what if I'm a member of the Better Business Bureau and a customer files a complaint against me and it's really unjustified? I was thinking that Better Business Bureau really did a lot of work to kind of protect the business itself from somebody who was presenting a false claim. Is that true, or?
That is true. If a person submits a complaint, they have to have, the backing, the evidence. They have to submit, exactly what happened. Here's the receipt with the business. Here's my email exchange. This is what's going on, so that we can verify that that complaint against the business is legitimate. They're not just complaining because they want a refund and they're trying to get us to help them get that illegitimate refund. So we do require, and the business is more than welcome we ask them to send us, their side of the story, their receipts, their contract, those kind of information, so that we can verify, okay, actually, no, this person did sign a contract saying XYZ, or no, the business is in the wrong, this complaint is legitimate. We don't just want to, badmouth or put a complaint against a business that's not not deserving of that complaint.
Yeah, I'm sure if we play around with the website, we'll see this, but I do think if there's a way you could send us like a little short, what are really the benefits, and really kind of giving examples, not just like, here's all the things that could help us to really figure out what the value proposition might be for our clients to join. I think, at least for me, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see, the page looks like it wasn't working of all the member benefits, but I know we have a whole page. Here we go. So as a business, if you're interested in learning more, you can go right to that main page of business resources, and you can go in to learn more about member accredited benefits. It brings you here. What does BBB member accreditation mean for you? And we have some videos and some testimonial from businesses that are accredited and why they became accredited, their background, what they do. We have some testimonials up here.
I can do some homework. Yeah.
Absolutely. This one, I don't know why it won't, but it's a whole list of our benefits. If you guys would like to see the video, I'm more than happy to play it. It's less than a minute as my kind of wrap up. This is one of our BBB members.
Okay, that's right.
Let's then.
To our family of better businesses, we'd like to thank you for all that you.
Sorry, I lost the correct one. There we go.
I'm Abra Zion, and I'm the owner of Z Photography in downtown New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I am a proud member of the BBB. I am a luxury photographer. I specialize in maternity, newborn, babies, children, and family. We're a full-service photography studio. So what that means is, from the very beginning, we form a relationship with you. We find out exactly what you're looking for in your photography experience, and we supply that. The newborn period is such a fleeting time, and those first 6 to 8 weeks just go by in a blink of an eye. 6 months later, a year later, 10 years later, as your child is going off to college, you'll be going, oh my goodness.
I don't know if you can up your volume at all, Danielle. It is a little quiet.
Look at how much hair my son had as a newborn. And so I want to capture those moments that you can't get back. Number one, safety and health are my top priorities. Those come before the gorgeous images. We've even increased our precautions that we're taking now to ensure that everybody is safe and healthy. We want you to come back. We want you to refer us to other people, and we want to see you in the community. We want to build trust. And that's why I'm a member of the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, because I know that people trust me more knowing that I have an A+ rating and that I'm part of the organization.
Just a little overview member testimonial. We have more of those. I think there's at least 13 in this playlist right here that cover a couple different businesses throughout our 4 states and why they became members, what their business is, different things like that. So if you're interested, I will absolutely include the link as well so that you can kind of check it out some more and explore more into the memberships.
Great. Heather, we're kind of taking up a lot of the time. Heather, did you have any questions for Danielle or from SCORE or the library?
No, I'm okay.
Great.
Pete or Carrie, did either of you have any last questions before we wrap up?
No, I think the presentation covered quite a bit and answered the questions that I did have in chat.
Thank you, Danielle.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a blast to get out and educate on what we do and who we are and that we're still around. It's very important.
Wonderful. Well, I'll follow up with an email to everybody that'll have a link to the recording and then some of the other resources and information that we talked about this afternoon. We're going to be taking December off from this series, so everyone enjoy all your holidays, and hopefully we'll be back in the new year with some new form of collaboration between the library and SCORE.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have an excellent afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.